Hi there, it's Clay. I want to talk about Project 4. This is a replacement. I posted a 40-second version, which, was just a mistake. So I re recorded that, but somehow lost it somewhere in the shuffle. So here we are, Project 4. Just a quick overview of some key stuff. This should set you up for the discussion that's due today. Sorry that it's obviously coming late, but I thought I'd posted it properly the other day. So first, some assignment overview stuff. So Project 4, it's a representation of what you found through your primary research in Project 3, and you're going to do that through a presentation. You're going to have to find some way to record your audio with the visual material in this presentation, since we can't meet in a classroom. So I want to talk a little bit about that. Now, the assignment has two key parts. One is the presentation part, where you're going to incorporate audiovisual stuff together, where you basically, in this part, your job is to make a pitch to other students like yourself who are interested in this discourse community, and make the best argument you can that gives advice for what they would need in order to join this community. So based on what you've learned by looking at genres and interviewing someone in the discourse community, what's the best piece of advice you can give them to be successful as a nurse or a pharmacist or whatever the community is? So that's a short, about 5-minute presentation that you're going to do there for that prompt, for that part of it. And there's a few options for how you can organize that material, and we'll talk about that. The second part is doing a cover letter, where I just want you to talk about the process in creating it, talk about sort of how this fits in with your research. Just give me some insight into what you did. So there we go. The due date for that is April 16th. I'm going to go back to Slack. So you've got to present slides, and you have to do recorded audio over your slides. I'm recommending using PowerPoint, but you could do other things. You could do a Prezi. You could do maybe a blog or a website if you want. There's a number of options listed. Anything where you could present text through a digital medium, but you're going to have to find a way to record over it. So either use a screen capture software like Camtasia, or here you can record it with PowerPoint. This video in the Slack and the Project 4 channel explains that for you, so you should take a look at that. There's a sample also in the Project 4 channel, a sample Ignite video. An Ignite video is just basically a really direct presentation where you use 20 slides to make a point, to make an argument, and you're going to really focus on 4 or 5 key points in there. So here's this. Let's look at this web resource, How to Give a Great Ignite Talk. I think this will be helpful for you. And there's a number of tips in here. So you want to really outline 4 or 5 main points. Your topic or theme is kind of chosen for you, but you've learned a lot about the discourse community in your research. So you can't present all of it. You got to choose what seems to be the most important or compelling stuff to you. Figure out your major points before you make the slides, and that's the assignment for Friday. Just sort of like start to outline, think about what are your major points and how are you going to organize that information. Do that before you start making your slides, and certainly before you start recording. If it's not very long, you should practice this a couple times. We're looking for something like 5-minute presentation, so practice that a couple times. It's good to breathe. This is a good point. Even with the sample that's posted in Slack, there's just a lot of talking. Let things hang for a second. People have to listen and think while you talk. So I suggest don't feel too tied to the script. Let yourself talk naturally a little bit, and you'll put in those pauses. Don't get hung up on the slides. Just keep moving. And that's sort of like these next two. Don't get hung up on your slides and make your talk fault tolerant. If you start to fall behind, you'll want to have slides where you can jump to the next major point. And you can easily find that. So think about that. This is something you're talking through, and know which slides are the most important, your anchor slides where you know you want to touch on in the talk. Watch a few examples. There's some links here on this website. Feel free to alter it as you need to make your project work. That's fine with me. The first and last slide, let those go. Think about font size. We're going to be watching this on a screen, though. It's not going to be presented in a room, so that's kind of different here. Make sure you're thinking about copyright permissions for any images you might use. So there are some links here for finding royalty-free images for your slides. So there we go. Project 4. Let me know if you have any questions, and next week we'll maybe look at some more examples and just keep moving this project process forward. It should be pretty easy. You've done the hardest part, and that's the primary research and writing that up this week. And this should be an easy, just drawing on what you've already done. This should be an easy next step. So. But it's a new audience, so you have to think about that. You're going to have to, be able to briefly define those key terms and make connections between your primary research and give some good advice for being a successful writer as a nurse or pharmacist or accountant or whatever. So anyway, thanks so much. And like I said, let me know if you have questions. We will talk to you soon. Thanks.